Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We're all about helping you learn English. And today, we're going to do that with a really fun conversation about travel.
Exactly. And I'm the expert here to help break things down and explain everything you need to know.
That's right. You'll be hearing some super useful words and phrases that you can use when you're talking about travel.
Sounds good.
So we're going to be listening to a conversation between two friends, Alex and Ella,
Huh.
who are planning a trip together, and we're going to learn from them.
Awesome.
Let's dive right in. The title of today's conversation is Planning a Trip.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's listen to Alex and Ella.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Ella,
Hi, Alex.
what are you doing?
I'm looking at places for our summer trip.
Oh, cool. What places are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about Croatia.
Yeah,
The cities on the coast are so beautiful.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
How much money do we have for the trip?
I think about $2,000 each. We should book a place to stay before we go.
Okay, that's good. When do you want to go?
Early August is good. The weather is perfect then.
Should we get a car? It might be easier to see everything.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wow, they're really excited about their trip.
Definitely. They're already making plans and talking about all the details.
So before we go any further, let's take a look at some of the key words and phrases they used.
Okay.
I think catch your attention is a great one.
Absolutely. It's a good way to ask someone what they find interesting.
Exactly. Alex said, what places are you thinking about? He could have said, what places do you like? But what places are you thinking about is more specific. It means, what places have you seen that look interesting?
And it sounds more natural and engaging in a conversation.
I also love how Ella described the coastal cities in Croatia.
Yeah,
She said they were so beautiful.
right.
But later in the conversation, she uses a different word, breathtaking.
Yes. Breathtaking means very beautiful. It's like when you see something so amazing that you forget to breathe for a moment.
It's a really powerful word, isn't it? It's like the beauty is almost too much to handle.
That's a great way to put it. It conveys a much stronger feeling than simply saying something is pretty or nice.
I think it's interesting how Ella is already thinking about practical things too.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned a budget, which means how much money they have to spend.
Right. And she also talked about booking a place to stay in advance. That's important, especially if you're traveling during a busy time.
Did you notice that Ella used a special word for a place to stay?
Yeah.
She said accommodation.
Yes. Accommodation is a general word for any place where you can sleep when you're traveling, like a hotel or a guest house.
And she also used the word estimate when talking about the budget.
Right. Estimate means to guess about something like the cost of the trip.
So what do we think of Croatia as a travel destination? Have you ever been?
I haven't been to Croatia yet, but I've heard great things about it.
Me too. I've seen pictures of the coastline, and it looks absolutely stunning.
It does. It sounds like the perfect place for a relaxing summer vacation. And we know that August is a great time to go because Ella mentioned the weather is perfect then.
Right. So we've listened to the conversation and talked about some of the key words and phrases. What do you think we should focus on next?
Well, I think it'd be helpful to review some of the important vocabulary we heard in the conversation.
Yeah, let's do that. Repeating these words and phrases will help us remember them. Okay, first up, breathtaking.
Okay.
Remember, Ella used that word to describe the cities in Croatia.
Yes. She said, the cities on the coast are so beautiful. But later she said the coastal cities are breathtaking.
Breathtaking means very beautiful. It's a much stronger word than just beautiful.
Right. Breathtaking is more than just pretty or nice. It's a feeling of awe, like when you see something so amazing that you can't even speak.
Think about a place you've been to that was breathtaking. Can you describe it?
I remember seeing the Northern Lights for the first time. It was breathtaking.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I bet it was amazing. Breathtaking is a great word to use when you want to describe something that is truly special.
Okay, let's move on to the next word. Do you remember when Ella said, I think about $2,000 each?
Yes, she was talking about the budget for the trip.
Right. And she used the word estimate when she was talking about the cost.
Estimate means to guess about something.
Exactly. It's not an exact number, but it gives you a general idea.
You can use estimate in a lot of different situations, not just when you're talking about travel. For example, you could say, I estimate that it'll take about 30 minutes to get to the restaurant.
That's a great example. You're not sure exactly how long it will take, but you're making a guess based on what you know.
Okay, one more important word from the conversation. Remember, Ella said we should book a place to stay before we go.
Yes, she was talking about accommodation.
Accommodation is a place where you stay when you travel, like a hotel, a guest house, or even a campsite.
It's important to book accommodation in advance, especially if you are traveling during a busy time of year.
Right. Imagine getting to your destination and not having a place to stay. Booking ahead can save you a lot of stress.
Now, can you think of an example sentence using accommodation?
Hmm. How about we booked our accommodation online before we left for our trip?
Perfect. That's a great way to use the word.
Learning new words is all about practicing and using them in different situations. The more you use them, the more natural they will become.
I completely agree.
So we've reviewed some important vocabulary words from the conversation. Breathtaking, estimate, and accommodation are all really useful words to know when you're talking about travel.
And remember, we heard these words in a real conversation between two friends planning a trip. That's the best way to learn new vocabulary, by listening to how native speakers use it.
Exactly. So now that we've talked about those words, do you think there are any other useful phrases we should look at?
Oh yeah, there were a few. I really liked how Alex asked Ella, how much money do we have for the trip?
Yeah, that's a great way to ask about the budget in a casual way.
Yeah, and it's really important too. You need to know how much money you have to spend before you can start making plans.
Definitely.
And Ella's reply, I think about $2,000 each, shows how to give an estimate
Right. A good estimate.
in a really clear and concise way.
Yeah. Very straightforward and easy to understand. I also thought it was interesting that Alex suggested renting a car.
Mm-hmm.
He said, should we get a car? It might be easier to see everything.
That's a great suggestion. Renting a car can give you a lot more freedom when you're traveling.
Yeah,
You can go where you want when you want.
exactly. It's definitely something to consider when you're planning a trip. It might cost a bit more, but it could be worth it for the convenience and flexibility.
Exactly. Especially if you're planning to explore different areas or go off the beaten path.
So we've covered some really useful vocabulary and phrases today. Breathtaking, estimate, accommodation. These are all words you can use when you're talking about travel.
And remember, we heard these words in a real conversation,
Right.
which is the best way to learn how to use them naturally.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We also learned some useful phrases for talking about the budget and transportation.
Planning a trip is a great way to practice your English. You can talk about different places you want to visit, things you want to do, and how much it'll all cost.
It's fun and practical. And who knows, maybe you'll even be inspired to plan your own trip.
That's a great idea. If you were planning a trip, where would you go?
That's a great question for our listeners.
Yeah.
Think about it. Where would you go on your dream vacation? And why?
We'd love to hear your ideas. Share your dream destination in the comments below.
And don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more English learning episodes. We've got lots more fun conversations and helpful vocabulary coming your way.
Learning English can be fun and easy. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive. See you next time.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.